Welcome to Season 2 of Girls' Night Out, Cat Fever, a sci-fi romance in 5 episodes. Up first is Episode 1.
Callie, I do need to talk to you of many things. You might think that the biggest thing going on in my life is your father leaving. It's true. When Mike told me about Emily, I was crushed. And then, getting suspended from work. And that night at the Mallard Mansion, you saw a few things that might have seemed strange. How did I just appear? How did the fire start? I was hiding the truth from you. For that, I apologize. But I know how strong you are, and I am so proud of you. So the time has come to talk of many things, starting with Fanboy.
Cognos, what is the status of Fenn B?
Lifeform Warden Fenn B has overstayed his mission. He has been in physical form for 2 Earth days and cannot be contacted through thought sharing.
Recommendation?
Conduct a reality impact analysis to locate him.
Good. Locate Fenn B and extract him. It is urgent that he and I meet.
Initiating impact analysis and extract protocols.
After the Mallard Mansion burned, Fanboy came to me on a cliff. We danced. I didn't know that humankind was on the brink of annihilation. First, he told me where he came from. He explained what happened to us that night 40 years ago. How Lane, Clementine, and I were abducted by his people, the Laniakeans. We were enhanced through a gene-altering process. He called it an inception. We were given powers. But the inception didn't work. Not at first. Our powers were there, though, waiting for the right moment to manifest. Fanboy told me his people have been visiting Earth for centuries. Then he told me about the call. Lane, Clementine, and I would lead the change on Earth to save humankind. You'd think I'd be honored to be given this important thing to do.
No.
You can't. This is our home. Okay, maybe we're trashing the place, but it's our place to trash.
It is not just your place, Gracie. You share it with many others.
It's still our home. You're just visitors.
But Gracie, the cull doesn't have to happen if you can change the way humans live.
I need to think about this.
Oh, they're here. I haven't finished!
There it was, one light in the sky moving towards us. He was rising. I reached out to take a hold of his arm, thinking I could keep him on Earth.
I still have so much to tell you. I'll come back. 8 billion humans, Gracie. That is the tipping point.
There he goes again.
Extraction complete. Thought sharing commencing with Fenn B.
Director! I hadn't completed orientation of the Inception subjects.
It was urgent that I speak with you. I am taking a vacation, Warden. While I am on leave, an acting director has been appointed, effective immediately. Zanditha S.
But, Director, Zanditha S. is a member of the Pro-Cull Alliance.
She will be working in a caretaker role, Warden. There will be no changes to our plans for Earth. Just continue your work with the Inception subjects.
May I ask, where are you going on your vacation?
I am finally going to Earth.
What lifeform will you borrow, Director?
I haven't decided yet. Any recommendations?
For first-timers, I recommend a bird. The vermillion flycatcher is an exceptional flyer.
Graceful, very fast, acrobatic, and small. This bird is no longer hunted for food, so very safe to borrow. You would find it very enjoyable.
That does sound...
Commencing thought sharing with Zanditha S.
Into the thought-sharing space came Zanditha S., chief influencer for the Pro-Co Alliance, a very powerful lobby group. The Pro-Co Alliance viewed humans as an infestation, responsible for widespread destruction of life forms and habitats on Earth. I had to admit they had a point. The Alliance had one goal: the extermination of humans.
Influencer S, I feel you. I suppose I should be calling you acting director now. I was just briefing the warden on your appointment.
Congratulations, acting director.
Thank you, Warden. I won't hide the fact that I was very disappointed to hear that the call had been delayed, but we must be patient. Warden, I hear that you're more human than the humans. It must be difficult to remain objective once you've been amongst them.
Absolute objectivity is an impossible state for any sentient being, Influencer S.
Be sure you address me as acting director, Warden. Don't forget who you're reporting to now. Director, enjoy your Earth vacation. End thought sharing.
Thought sharing has ended.
He hid in amongst the reeds in his camouflage clothes with his tripod and camera. Still as a pond and shy as a deer, Griffin Rowland, my son, your brother, Collie. As dawn broke, the sun lit up the mist floating on the marsh. Griffin saw it first as a reflection, an impossible smudge of color dancing on the water. Some might say it was orange. Others would call it crimson. A tiny, exquisite bird perched on the tip of a reed. With such bright plumage, he was, of course, a male. He threw back his tiny head and sang one note that pierced the silence. Then the marsh exploded in birdsong. Griffin noted the sighting of the bird in his journal.
Vermillion flycatcher. Male. Not yet mated.
The alarm on his phone told Griffin it was time to head into the office. He packed up his stuff and started walking back to the car. That's when he saw them, the workers. They were roping off the parking lot and installing a big wooden sign.
Hi. What's going on?
New building site. Some kind of cat park.
The worker pointed at the sign which read, Development Application. Perfection Cat Adventure and Wellness Park. The sign had an artist's version of what the park would look like. The reeds and marsh vegetation were gone, replaced by a concrete retaining wall and paved footpath.
A cat park?
Yeah. What next?
They can't do that.
Looks like they are. But you can complain if you don't like it. There's a town hall meeting tonight.
Remember when Griffin got the internship at Birds International? He was over the moon. Skip Waters, the CEO of Birds International, was his hero. The work Skip had done to protect the bald-headed eagle in the 90s was legendary. Now, Skip was so busy fundraising, Griffin never saw him. But Skip had told Griffin that he could call him anytime.
This is Skip.
Hello, Mr. Waters. This is Griffin Rowland. In the Whitney office?
Oh, hey, Griffin. What's this Mr. Waters stuff? Please call me Skip.
All right. Mr. Skip. Do you know the Whitney Marsh?
Remind me.
It's an important wetland habitat for birds. Well, it's about to be developed as a park. A cat park.
Sounded like you said cat park.
Whitney Marsh is on the migratory path for 152 bird species, 4 of them endangered.
Wow! That's a very specific number, Griffin. Oh, just a second.
Double mojito with extra mint.
Thanks. Can we put this on the room tab? Great. Sorry, Griffin, you were saying?
I've been cataloging and counting the birds. That's one of the things we've been doing. May I ask where you are, sir?
I'm in Bora Bora. You know, Tahiti. There's a World Bird Preservation Symposium here this week. Cheers!
Yeah, cheers. Sir, Whitney Marsh is the last remaining breeding ground on Earth for the vermillion flycatcher. What should I do?
About what?
The development.
Well, there's a form to fill out. Check with Nancy and legal. We have to play by the rules, Griffin, even when no one else does.
Yes, sir.
Well, if that's all.
But those forms take time. The town hall meeting to approve the development is tonight.
Well, you better get along to it.
Me? Sir?
Sure. That's what we're paying you for, right?
I'm an intern, sir, so I'm not actually getting paid. The thing is, do I have to speak? I don't...
You'll be fine. You know what we stand for. We're counting on you. Hey man, I gotta go. We're challenging World Wildlife Fund to a game of beach volleyball. Wish me luck.
Fanboy said we were supposed to lead the change, but I didn't know what that meant. He'd gone again, so I couldn't ask him, and I had no idea when he'd be back. So, life goes on. I had vowed never to work at Feelrite again, but the divorce was looming, and you're about to start university, Collie, and I still have mortgage payments. I was discovering that the job market is not kind to women of my age. I had applied for dozens of jobs, but I hadn't gotten a single interview. So I agreed to meet with the new CEO of Feelrite, Tasha Van Feilien. I'd heard good things about her, and it was just a meeting, right? I had put on my power suit, which felt like a costume, and was sitting in the kitchen having coffee. And I had a visitor. Griffin, what brings you back to the mothership?
Funny, Mom. I need to borrow one of Dad's jackets.
I'm not sure what's still here. He's taken most of his stuff over to his place. How's the internship going?
My boss wants me to go to a town hall meeting tonight. Like to speak against a property development?
That sounds pretty serious. Is anyone going with you?
No. What about one of these?
Definitely not the brown.
This one? The thing is, you know how I get blotchy when I talk in front of people?
A bit flushed, maybe.
Come on, Mom.
Okay, I guess so. What about a tie?
Do I have to wear a tie? Okay.
Go for a solid color. There should be a red one.
You speak in front of people all the time. How do you stay so calm?
What I do is I find one friendly face in the crowd and I speak to that person. You just speak from the heart. You'll be great. Oh yeah, those look good together.
You're looking pretty corporate yourself. Got a job interview today?
I have a meeting with Feelrite.
You're not going to work for them, are you? You're so smart, Mom. You could work anywhere.
I am now the dreaded, unemployed woman over 50. That ain't that easy.
Just don't let them steal your soul. So, how do I tie this thing?
Miss Van Feilien will see you now. Follow me.
Thank you, Candace. Dr. Grace Rowland, thank you for coming in.
I didn't think I'd ever see the inside of these offices again, but here I am.
Feelrite owes you so much, Grace. First, we owe you an apology for the appalling way you were treated. No. And we owe you our gratitude for bravely uncovering the truth about Fountain of Youth and Daphne Mallard. It's shocking. You saved those women.
It was Anita who was brave. I just followed her trail of breadcrumbs.
How is Dr. Chung?
Recovering. Taking some time out.
Of course. I'll get straight to the point, Grace. We want you back.
That's flattering, but I think my time working in beauty and anti-aging is over. I just don't believe in those products anymore.
I agree, Grace. Come over to the window with me. Look down on that street below. People walking here and there. They look like little ants, don't they?
Nicely dressed ants.
True. How many of those people would use Fountain of Youth?
Well, there's about 200 people down there. I don't know, maybe one.
Exactly. It's a niche product. Our anti-aging division is small. We only spend $2 billion a year on research. I had another area in mind for you, Grace. How would you like to head up our immunology division?
Immunology?
Our forecasts predict another viral pandemic in the next 5 years. And predictions suggest this pandemic could be a big one. We have to be ready. Feelrite has the leading immunologists in the world working right here in Whitney. The vaccines we create help people all over the world. We save lives. You'll be doing more than just smoothing out the wrinkles of wealthy white women. Don't quote me on that. What do you say, Grace?
It does sound interesting.
And I can make it more interesting by giving your salary a 30% bump to reflect your value to our organization. I can see you need to consider this. Please, go out to our lab and meet the team. Then tell me yes.
I would love to meet the immunology team. As I left to visit immunology, Executive Assistant Candace Cooper came into Tasha's office.
How did it go with her?
I think we've got her.
Can we talk about the entertainment for the party?
Oh, all right. But can you just give my shoulders a rub? My neck is so tight.
How's this?
Oh.
Do you still want to go with the birds?
That's right. A rainbow of pretty little birds. Not too large. Especially yellow, orange, and maybe blue to match the decor.
I contacted Exotic Experiences, the event firm that did the monarch butterflies for us last year.
A bit lower, Candace. Just between the shoulder blades. Oh, that's lovely.
They say they can deliver what you're asking for. They have a specialist. I met him. Mirko Borg.
What's he like?
A bit scary. He has, steel teeth.
Scary is good. Get Mr. Ferndale to find out whether Mr. Borg is open to some contracting work.
Griffin went to the Whitney County Town Hall meeting. There were lots of people there, and they all seemed to know each other. Griffin kept looking down at his talking notes, which were damp from his clammy, shaking hands. He could feel hot patches on his cheeks and neck. The dreaded blotches were on the rise. Bill Thompson, the young, handsome mayor of Whitney, called the meeting to order.
I'm bringing this meeting to order. The first and only item on the agenda is the proposed Perfection Park development on the site of Whitney Marsh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a cat wellness and adventure park. It will result in a $15 million investment for Whitney. Remember, people, if you agree with the speaker, just hold your hands up like this and wiggle your fingers. No clapping or cheering, please. Our first speaker is Miss Amethyst Glory from the Homeless Cat Sanctuary. Miss Glory?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have lived next to Central Park for 40 years. People have always dumped their unwanted cats there, so I started feeding them. What else could I do? Well, now we have 5 volunteers and a safe space for 250 homeless cats. We make sure the cats are vaccinated, microchipped, and neutered. We run an adoption service and find those cats homes.
Miss Glory, I understand that the cat sanctuary is in violation of the county's health code, and that the health department has given notice to suspend your operation of the sanctuary in, 1 week?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Pinhorn over there gave us that news. We were shocked. But that's why we feel that Perfection Park is just, well, perfect for us. The Ailurophile Society, many of their members are here tonight. Hello! The society came to our rescue. They say they will put aside an area in the cat park and we can move the sanctuary there. I say, God bless the Ailurophile Society. That's all for me, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Miss Glory. Our next speaker is Mr. Clarence Pinhorn, the Environment and Health Manager for Whitney County. Mr. Pinhorn.
The cat sanctuary in Central Park was never approved, and now we have a biohazard.
You're exaggerating.
Madam, please do not interrupt the speaker.
I'm not exaggerating. I hired a parasitologist. That's someone who studies parasites. His name is Dr. Danik Vesely. This is his report. Dr. Vesely did tests on soils in the park and the sand in the children's play area. His tests show that the cat sanctuary is a breeding ground for a parasite. That's right. This parasite comes from cats and it's harmful to humans. The cat sanctuary is a public health disaster.
You're a public health disaster, Pinhorn.
All right. Quiet, people. Remember what I said about the fingers.
I am responsible for the health of our county. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want your children to be healthy? Of course you do. That's why I want the cat sanctuary moved away from Central Park. If Perfection Park can provide space for the cats far away from the people of this city, then I'm in favor of it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Pinhorn. Our last speaker is Mr. Griffin Rowland, representing Birds International. Mr. Rowland?
Griffin took one last look at his notes and walked, like a condemned man, to the front.
It says here that you are an intern at Birds International. Is that right, Mr. Rowland?
That's right, Your Honor. Your Mayor, sir.
Griffin looked out into the crowd for a friendly face. Clarence Pinhorn was sitting in the front row, angrily scrolling on his phone. As the room fell silent, Clarence stopped scrolling and looked up at Griffin with curiosity, like he thought Griffin might explode.
Birds.
Please, go ahead.
Birds International is a non-profit organization dedicated to the preservation of bird life and bird habitats. Whitney Marsh is an important habitat for 152 species of migratory birds and the last remaining nesting ground for the vermillion flycatcher, an exquisite bird that is now endangered.
Suddenly, Griffin forgot what he was going to say next. In a panic, he looked down at his notes. For a brief, insane moment, he didn't even recognize the lettering. He put the notes aside.
Okay. All right. Throughout history, the First Nations people of this area, the Wicknish, have celebrated the annual arrival of the vermillion flycatcher to the marsh, a time they call the Days of Fire on Water. When vermillion flycatchers arrive at the marsh to mate and nest, there is no more beautiful sight. Have any of you seen it? The name of our town, Whitney, comes from the Wicknish words Whitney, which means firebird. A cat park in the marsh would endanger not just the vermillion flycatchers, but all the bird life there. I'm asking you all, please don't let this park go ahead.
But surely, Mr. Rowland, there's a process of getting environmental protection for the marsh if it really is as important as you say.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I put that form in today.
You're too late.
Ralph, quiet.
I only heard about the park development application this morning. Was there a public notice? I didn't see it.
It's true. The town hall meeting for this development has been, fast-tracked.
Mr. Mayor, you and I and the people in this room have the power to protect a precious living thing from extinction, the last of its kind.
Fly away, little bird.
Anything else, Mr. Rowland? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you support Mr. Rowland, please indicate that with a show of fingers.
Griffin looked around. To his surprise, Clarence raised his hands and wiggled his fingers with him. But that was it. 4 hands, 20 fingers.
All right. That's the last of our speakers. Now let's get down to the matter at hand. There is a motion to approve Perfection Park. All those in favor? All those opposed? The motion is carried, and this meeting is adjourned.
Griffin just sat there as people stepped past him and filed out of the hall. Once everyone was gone, he stood up and walked out into the night. Clarence was outside, standing in the doorway of the building next door, slouched against its frame.
That was brutal.
If you're gonna start,
Don't worry, I'm not one of those cat people. Hey, I'm sorry about your birds.
I still can't believe it.
I think I made things worse for you with what I said.
It's okay. You were just doing your job.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I can help, with any of this, here's my card. Like, my job is health and environment, so let me know.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I don't have a business card to give you.
Anyway, I gotta go. Thursday night's D&D.
Oh, you're a Dungeons & Dragons guy. What do you play?
I'm a Night Song Enforcer, level 23. You?
I'm still deciding, I guess.
Well, if you ever want to join a session, call that number.
Thank you for listening to Episode 1. Stay tuned for Episode 2, which is coming up next. Bringing the story to life are our wonderful voice actors. In order of appearance, they are Nancy Zelno is Grace, Martin Lavelle is the director, Christian P.K. Reeve is Cognos, Matthew Moore is Fenn B, Sarah Zaversanuk is Sanditha S, Dan Egan is Griffin, Chris Tanhill is Skip, Wendy Page is Tasha Van Feilien,
Abigail Halen is Candace. Chuck Galco is the mayor. Cherie Price is Amethyst Glory. Mauricio Rivero Burrell is Clarence. Other roles were played by Chuck Galco, Joe Demansky, Chris Tanhill, Lisa Spiegel, and Abigail Halen. Girls' Night Out Season 2 is written by Mary Labrie and produced by women of a certain age. Original music We Are Alive was written and produced by Dan Egan. Casting, directing, sound engineering, and editing was done by Mary Labrie. Other music was Alice in Winter by Nuclear Conception, Stratosphere by Cloud Wave, and Tropical Marimba by Rhythm Scott. Girls' Night Out is the proud winner of the Australian Podcast Award for Best Fiction in 2022. You can also hear Girls' Night Out in sunny California on KPPQ 104.1 FM. That's on The Shiver Show. For news about the Girls' Night Out series and the behind-the-scenes stuff, follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. Our handle is @GirlsNightOutUniverse. If you like the show, leave us a review or a comment and share us with your friends and family. If you want to help this team of indie developers and actors win the Best Fiction Podcast for 2023, please vote for us. Links are on our link tree at Girls Night Out Podcast. We would appreciate that so much. Remember, episode 2 is up next, so listen up and thank you for joining us in this reality vector.